All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to this session on CV and resume. So, by now, we should know that you can have all the skills and have all the techniques and know everything, but if you don't know how to sell yourself, no job for you. It's just like we talk about building in public. If you don't put yourself out there, you have all the skills. You might be better than the best, but nobody will know. You get so you have to learn to put yourself out there. But a resume is like a marketing tool. You see that your CV, your resume is like a marketing tool that will sell you. So you should treat it like a business proposal in a way, in the sense that when you're not in the room, someone who will go through your CV will be like, I need to reach out to this person. Like let it spark interest in them that this person seems like an amazing person to work with. Let me get to know this person more beyond this resume. But even if you're a wonderful person and you don't craft a good marketing whatever well, then nobody will reach out to you. So that's how I'm going to start. So we all know what a resume is. So I'm not going into the technical explanations. A resume is, we all know what a resume is. Basically a document that shows who you are professionally, highlighting your skills and experiences, right? But in this case, let us position our mind as seeing it as a marketing tool, right? So, by the way, let's all, okay, I think, yeah, everybody's mic is off. So we can just raise our hands if we have any questions, then I can pick. But for now, I just want to run through what I have, then I'll show you what I need to show you. So, like I said, your resume should be seen as a marketing tool. Why am I calling it a marketing tool? It is not where you go and list all your life history and your story about where you are from in your village and the position. Nobody cares about that. We are all here. Most of us are data analysts, if not all of us, right? And if you are crafting a resume, you have to position yourself or market yourself as someone who is a professional or a skilled data analyst or data professional who will spark interest in a recruiter that will say, I want to know more about this person. Bring him in for an interview or set up a call with him. Let's get to know more about him. So I will keep saying it is not just a document where you can list your life history. No, it is a marketing tool. And a marketing tool, if you know how marketing is, you have to put only what is relevant, right? Only what is relevant. So it's more like, I'm sure you guys have heard about the elevator pitch, right? Where maybe if you're in an elevator with maybe someone like Elon Musk and you have like 1 minute or 2 minutes max to sell yourself, you won't start telling the person, I did go straight to the point of what value you have to offer that will be interesting to them. That is marketing, how you sell yourself, how you network, and all of that. So, see your resume like a documented elevator pitch. But like I said, it's a marketing tool. So whatever you're putting must be relevant to the role you're applying for, which is mostly a data analytics role, right? So why I'm saying that, because first impression matters. How you sell yourself is how do we see it. And you know everybody is busy. If you just put anyhow information and it's boring, they'll skip to the next. We'll still come to the aspect of ATS, automated tracking system, how you can craft your CV to pass the ATS machine. They are more like, um, I won't call them AI per se, but they are more like bots, automated bots, where they scan certain things in your resume related to the job you're applying for, and there's a particular score you have to meet. You won't know the score, but they've already programmed it. If you don't meet that score, even if you are good, they will just discard your resume. So it's the one that passed that a recruiter will now see and go through and say, okay, let's call this particular people in or that particular people in. So the ATS will still talk about all of that, but I just want us to have an understanding of what a resume is. It is more like a marketing tool to sell yourself. And if you are in the business of selling, there's no point talking about things that are not relevant to the problem you're trying to solve for your potential employer. So going on from there, how do we start our resume, right? So the most important thing in your resume should be your name. But I would like to say this thing because I've seen it more with Nigerians. Growing up in Nigeria, when they will tell you write your name, they will say start with your surname. A lot of people don't even know the difference between first name and last name, funny enough, because of the way we were brought up in Nigeria. So your last name is your surname. What do I mean? The name that your family has. For example, my name is Onyedika. My family name is Moji. If I get married, my wife will pick up the name Moji. My children, if I name somebody Emeka, he will answer Emeka Moji. That Moji is my last name or my surname. But my first name is the name that everybody knows be my Onyedika. Daniel is here. Daniel is your first name, right? Mary is your first name. Oluwakemi is your first name. And we keep going on like that. So the first thing that is important is your name, and it should be the first thing that should catch anybody. Make it bold, not too. It shouldn't cover the entire thing, but it should be big enough and bold enough, and you should start properly it with your first and your last name. If you want, you can do first name, middle name, and last name. That is not a problem, but ideally, it should come in the structure of first going to last, not Moji, Onyedika, Uche. If you submit it to maybe a foreign company, they will see it and think your name is Moji. Meanwhile, it's your last name or your surname. So start with the first name. Very important, because that is what they will look at first. The first name there is your name. So if you carry your middle name as your first name, now you sabi, that's what they will call you. So the most important thing there is your information, your name. Then some other information you will put, and I'll still show you some examples of CVs. In fact, I'll show you about 10 CVs from my entire career since 2020, how it has changed. I think it's going to be very important for me to show you different versions of my CV till the current one that I had at, I think, 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, I updated, right? So, and I will tell you certain things that are relevant that you can take out and things you should focus on more. So, going forward, your contact information is also necessary, but it's not everything you are going to put. For security purposes, it's not advisable that you put your full house address. For example, if you live at number 17, Ajakukulu, Agege, or something like that, there is no need to put your number 17 Ajakukulu Street off whatever, Agege, Lagos. No. Just simply write Agege, Lagos. Leave it that way. If you live at Ikeja, just write Ikeja, Lagos. Leave it that way. Someone like me now, I live in Ajawa Estate. So what I just put in my resume is Ajawa Estate, Airport Road, Lagos. I leave it that way. You don't need to put specific number 27, Ishola Daniel Street. This one, nobody needs all that information for your own safety too. So just put a location and okay, this person is living in Lagos, and at least let them have an idea, especially if it's an on-site job, let them know whether you're living too far from the office or whatever. It can be important. But then I should also state that I have two resumes. One that I used to apply for foreign job if I eventually land one remote job. That one I purposely don't add my address. I just leave it blank. If they like, they should ask me. They don't want to ask me. But we all know how it's happening in Nigeria. If you are from Nigeria, they will have this bias. So I just remove that one out so that let them see every other thing. And if they want to hire me, let them hire me for every other thing apart from my location or my nationality. Right. So, like I said, if you are applying for normal local jobs in Nigeria, fine. But don't put your full address. Just put if you stay in Ibadan. If it is I'm thinking of somewhere I know in Ibadan, like ah the different places are just clashing in my head. Please, what's the name of that UI area again? I don't know. I just keep forgetting.
Bodija.
Bodija. You just write Bodija, Ibadan, Nigeria. Finish. If it is a challenge, you write challenge, Ibadan, Nigeria. Nobody needs the exact number, street. Nobody needs that. That one is aside. The other important thing, of course, your email address. your phone number, working email, working phone number. And please, if you don't have a Gmail address and you're on this call, please get a Gmail address. And please, I hope we're not among those people that will write, for example, Dikky for real 111 at gmail.com or hotbabekemo at gmail.com. Please, please, you will not look serious to anybody. Be professional. I mean, there's nothing as simple as writing your name, Onyedika Nwoji, at that. Or you can write O Moji or O underscore, anyhow you want to write it, O dot, anyhow, Onyedika, anyone you want, but let it be like your real name so that it shows professionalism. Don't go into all these hot guy for real. No, please, we've left that. It was when we were in primary school, I didn't know that rubbish. We have grown. When you were a child, you thought like a child and you did childish things. Now you're an adult, behave like an adult. We are now mature people. We are no longer kids, right? Once you are 18, you're not even a kid anymore. So I don't know. There's nobody below 18 here. So we are all adults, right? So your email address has to be professional, showing your name clearly, and also your phone number. Ideally, you can use your area code +23480, whatever. But make sure that your phone number is reachable, your email is reachable. One other important thing you should put there is your LinkedIn. For those that don't have LinkedIn, I'm using one eye and looking at all of you. If you don't have LinkedIn, I will not say anything. But your LinkedIn is more like your social media version of your resume. And if you're not on LinkedIn, please go and open a LinkedIn account. Hmm? It's very important. In fact, I'm trying to be, I don't want to go to the extreme, but most people will not take you serious if you don't have a LinkedIn account because there's a lot you can put in your LinkedIn that you cannot put in your resume. It's more like, okay, my resume is like marketing tool. There are some juicy thing they will see, but if they enter your LinkedIn, they should see much more. Like a lot of things, if you are always writing about your field, let them say, this person really knows what he's talking about. I read on something she talked about data cleaning. She must really know data cleaning. Is the social media, right? But it's like a resume version of it. So please, if you're not on LinkedIn, very important. So you can also add your LinkedIn. Those ones you can hyperlink them so that it's clickable, right? I'll still come to the format of your resume, which obviously should be in PDF and not Microsoft Word document, except they are the ones that tell you put your CV as a document. But if they don't, please, any CV you're submitting out should be in PDF. So I'm going ahead of myself anyway, but you can always hyperlink those things. Same with your portfolio. A lot of us are here. If you don't have a portfolio, you're not ready for data analysis. You're not even ready for tech. So these are key things. We've not even gone deep into the resume. And if you don't have a portfolio, you're in tech, you're in data analytics, I don't know what you're doing. No. Better go and arrange yourself if you want to get good job that will give you something meaningful in this sustainable economy. All right, so I've spoken a lot about that. And just to be sure I'm not missing anything, I think one more thing you should add is I think that's just it. So I will go on to the next thing on your resume, which is like we break them in different headers. So the first header for people that are just starting out, we'll call that header career objectives, right? So career objectives are for people that are just starting. But for those who are more like experienced, maybe you had like 2 years working experience, we call it what? Professional summary or a professional profile. So it's just a brief summary of who you are, basically. No plenty talk. Ideally, you can represent it in 3 bullet points max, right? I'm going to show an example about all of that very soon. So, what does that? That is more like the icebreaker, and it will define every other thing you are going to be documenting on your resume. So basically, it's going to be like, okay, professional summary for someone like me now. I think I should even share my screen at this point. Just give me a moment. Let me share my screen. Um, Okay, I believe we can all see my screen. It's coming up. I think, yeah, we can all see my screen. I can see it from here. So let me look at one of my very, very old resumes. Very old one. So I think it's somewhere here. Somewhere here. Aha. So look at this one, career objective. This is a very old resume, like as old as 2020. So here I really didn't have much experience, even though I added some things, but as you can see, they are not like post NYSC experience. Do you get? So these are just what I put for my career objective. What's my career objective? Something brief about me. Okay, to work in a dynamic working environment with blah blah blah. Just speak all the English. The good thing is that ChatGPT is always there for you in our time to help you craft something, but make sure you have something to write. Give ChatGPT to refine it for you and make it as short and sweet as it is, as in short, sweet, and simple, no too much plenty noise. Like this one I just said, to work in a dynamic working environment with a team of highly skilled professionals with the aim of contributing effectively to the organizational goals, adding value, learning and developing new skills, and to demonstrate appropriate ethical behavior in the execution of assigned duties. Right. So as you can see, my address self, I'm writing the full address. By that time, I was still learning. So I'm going to be showing you a lot of seasons of my transformation down to my current state. So this was about one of my very first resume. So I'm still going to be touching some things, but then I would navigate through some of my resumes. So one other thing you should also consider after you are done with the career objective or professional profile or summary, you now have to talk about your, okay, depending on how you want to structure it. Some people might start by listing their skills, the skills that they have first. But personally, I like my recent resume starts with my experience, because I think I have more relevant experience that is eye catchy. So depending on what you feel is eye catchy for you, it's not like everybody must follow that pattern, that you must start with your work experience. For some people, they may not have that much work experience. They will have to use maybe skills. For other people that are working on projects and they have portfolio, they will just start with projects, and one or two projects that they will put there will be very eye catchy and to just spark the interest of the recruiter. So whatever will catch their interest, let it always come at the top after your career objective. So it could be your education, which I won't even advise, but if you are the first class type, please put it. But ideally, it should be work experience or your skills or your projects. Those ones are very, very key. It's just like I'm all up in your face. This is what I have to offer. This is my experience. These are my skills, that kind of thing. And they'll be like, hmm. So whatever you put will determine if they want to read further. And you notice I didn't say something like add your remaining bio data, your gender, your date of birth, your local government. All those ones are irrelevant. They will not determine whether you are a good fit for the job or not. If you notice, everything that has to be on your resume must be important to the job or the person recruiting you. For example, your address, they just want to know where you are located, your phone or your email, they need to be able to reach out to you. That's all they need to care, and your name. So also, you see, the first time I did my resume, I started with surname because I didn't know better then. So I've corrected these ones over the years. So once you'll be able to, let's start with the experience. If you are working with experience, always work in chronological order from your most recent experience. You also do that with your education. The most recent must be on top. For example, we are in 2025. You got a job in 2025. That should be the job you should put there. If you had your last job maybe 2022 to 2024, that would be the next one following, going down like that till maybe 1995, as the case may be, but it must flow in that order chronologically. Very important. And let me say something about when you're stating your work experience. Like, look at this one now. I didn't have experience. Most of these things are just things I just put as filler, just to fill space. You get. For example, 2012, this was when I just entered school, but I did small stuff for my dad in his business. I added it as work experience. Then during my IT, I just added it. Then my NYSC, I added it. This one a small Aisha, I added it. Little bit like I was doing something, but the truth is I was not doing anything at this point. But I just had to put something so that it will look like, So then I didn't know much about portfolio and all. I was still, just with my very, very basic Excel that could not carry me anywhere. I was just trying to navigate my life. If I knew what I knew then, what I knew now, if I knew it then, I would have crafted this a lot better because I'd have learned a lot of things, built out a portfolio and all of that. But regardless, I had to just put something. So one of the things you should also know for those that have experience, once you are listing your experience, please don't go and be putting your duties. Nobody cares about your duties. Remember, people that are employing you, they want to see the value they can get from you. So to come and say, okay, I worked at MTN, I was responsible for, nobody really cares. Yes, you might do that in one or two places, but the most important thing is you should quantify your achievements, measurable achievements, or even impact. For example, let me just quickly move to my very recent resume. Please, people should not shout. I'm still building. So if you look at this, no, this is not even recent. I still have, where is that recent? No, this is not recent. But okay, okay. I think this is my most recent resume. I think so. Yeah. So here is because I'm still on the job, so there's no reason to come and start writing. I achieved this, but I'll still show you something I did in this resume. But if you look at this one, I put my Excel training that I've trained 200 plus learners and they've achieved 93% pass rate, and the program was rated at 95% by everybody that rated. So I'm quantifying my achievements. So I'm not going to tell you, oh, I'm responsible for training. Nobody cares. What is the impact of the training you are doing? Let's know whether you know what you are doing. Now, I did this for one edtech company, I think in 2023. Okay, yeah, 2023. But I put there, I facilitated a 2-day training for 20 plus graduates. So I'm showing you how many people I've trained so far. And then I contributed to the professional development of graduate trainees for a first bank project. I'm not just telling you what I did, I'm telling you what I brought to the table, the impact that I made at the job. This one now, I said I analyzed and managed large data sets of 6,000. Then I thought it was more big data. I've seen a lot of data now. 6,000 looks very small, right? And then across program interventions and maintain this. Then here was where I put something impactful. I identified programmatic gaps and offered strategies that improve the HIV viral load suppression rate of vulnerable children by 26%. So this will tell you that this person doesn't just know how to analyze data, he knows how to drill through problem, solve a problem, and measure the impact over time based on whatever has happened in the program. Do you get? So this one, sef, I think I should remove it from my CV. I don't think I need it anymore, but I'm just keeping it for the meantime. But the most important thing here is don't just list your job duties, right? It's not impactful. You are just wasting space. Make it punchy, even if it is 2 bullet points. Where you worked, what did you achieve? State it there. If possible, quantify it in numbers or percentages. Let the person reading your resume see like, okay, this person is not just coming to fill space. They have value they are bringing, they have problem they are solving, they have impact they are bringing to the table. That's the most important thing. And that is why after your professional summary, your experience or your skills must be able to sell you well. In fact, this is where the selling happens most of the time. You must be able to sell yourself well. Because if you cannot sell yourself, I don't know. So going on to another aspect for those who don't have experience, projects. I have projects here. So if you don't have experience, projects are like experiences for you. Even though you've never worked a 9 to 5 as a data professional, but you've worked on certain projects. So out of the projects that I have, I listed about four. So imagine I didn't have all of this. I just listed the project because of space. If you want, you can click. So I also hyperlinked this so that you can click and it will take you to the project and you can see more. And I think I should say this at some point. This particular Power BI project, this HIV project, was one of the reasons that I got the job that I have now, because my unit head told me specifically that he saw the project that I put on my resume. How did he see it? I put information there and he clicked the link and he saw what was good. You get it? He saw it and it was good in his eyes and he decided, I can work with this guy. And that was it. So even if I didn't have all of this information here, this one has caught his attention. So if you don't have experience, maybe it's one or two experience, even if it's not data related, find a way to make it impactful. What did you do there? Don't just say I was gathering files. Let me show you some very, very amateur things I did in my previous resume. I don't know if I did it here. Okay, I don't think I did it here. Did I do it here? No, I didn't. So what I usually do, I'll come and be telling you some things I did when I was doing my IT at this accident investigation bureau under aviation industry. I was doing a lot of human resource work, but it was not really human resources. I was working more like a clerk, carrying files from one office to another, photocopy. Imagine me writing that thing here now. Who will take me serious? It just shows that you don't have anything to do. Nobody thinks that you are skilled enough to do something really technical. So that one will even it will not sell you. It will even make you look like you're not serious. You don't have skills. So everything you are putting in your resume, make sure that the starting point, or what I mean by the starting point, the starting header after your very sweet, catchy summary, the next thing should really, really hold attention. So that's why if you don't have experience, make sure you have your projects. And I will also advise, if you are listing your projects, list it like your what do you call it, like your work experience. In this case, you can write project, but document it this way. Okay, you did this project. It's just because of space I didn't have to do all of that, so I just put the link, go and see more. But what you can do in this case, if you don't have experience, is list the name of the project and then maybe two or three bullet points, some key insights you got and recommendation, and then add a link for people to see more. That thing you put there, key insights, are more like, okay, I did certain things, like I did this and improved whatever. So they are saying, okay, you're not just someone that is just doing projects. You know that data analysis is not about analyzing data but solving problems. So the kind of insights you bring, if it is rich, it will prompt them to look more into the project. I'm like, okay, he did this project. These are the one or two key insights and maybe one or two relevant recommendation, and then obviously you put a link for me to see more. And if it's interesting, why don't I click the link to see more? And if it is marvelous, I will call you back and say, let's interview this guy. It's just simple. So your CV is a marketing tool. So see, let me tell you something I learned when you are doing CV. There is no humility. You can be very, when you come to your interview, even in your interview, there is no humility, even though you should not be arrogant. But you see CV, show yourself. There is no, let me not over, show yourself, and I'll show you something I did in this resume. I showed myself very well. Now, let me show you something. Recently, I added. So there was something I worked on, a project I worked on. I worked on this project. I built a complete resolution dashboard, and I noticed something was changing. And I talked to my supervisor. I was like, Omo, this project I built for these guys, it's a dashboard actually, but I noticed that there are certain key metrics we built out for them, which took our time because it was crazy, and I was one that was spearheading the project. But I noticed that some things were improving in less than 2 weeks. And I did my own calculation and realized almost some things really changed. And guess what? I didn't have to wait until I leave Sterling Bank to document it. I put it as my achievements or awards. And I built a complete resolution dashboard to monitor key metrics. And what happened? What was the impact? Improving SLA, that is service level agreement, by 18% in 30 days. That will tell the recruiter that I'm not someone to play with. I know where to work with data that will bring out what will make things change. Do you get? So you can do the same thing with your projects here. and just document certain things that will really catch them. This is a marketing tool. Anything you are doing must sell you like mad and catch the recruiter. Very, very important. Then for those who have taken courses apart from Excel with Dikky, there are also spaces for your certification. Now let me show you my very first resume. For certificates, there was one physical training I did back in Enugu in 2017 after school. I just put it there. Make you no be like say I no get anything. But I had nothing. I was empty and dry. In fact, you can say I was black and broke at this point. I had nothing to show, no skill, just a degree, two by the way, that would not even do anything for me. But I had a dream, like Martin Luther, and to God be the glory. I'm still building on that dream. I've not started living the dream. And just the way as I'm building, I will live that dream and everybody will live that dream in Jesus' name. Amen. So going forward, um, I had to list this one here, just let it show that I did something. But I think over time, I took another training while I was doing this job. By the time I did this, I was started working in an NGO. So you can see here, the NGO I was working in, I put it here. So there was a course I took on WHO site. I added it. And I think as I kept going, I added one other one. This Jobber Man, I'm sure some of you did it in 2020, 2021. I did the course on Coursera. I added it. And I don't know if I did any other one. Okay, just like that. So with time, I just started adding certifications. So they are very relevant. If you take courses like some of the ones you've taken on CFI, add it and also hyperlink it as proof. For example, CFI, they have their own link. For example, let me show you just one course, maybe this one. If I click on, okay, let me click on this one now. I added it as part of my education. Of course, doing 6 months course is education for me, so I go add them. It's catchy. By the time you see Canada, you want to read more. Like I said, sell yourself. Oh. Sell yourself. So if you click here, it will take you straight to the website where, yes, allow, where you can see the certification and verify it on CFI's platform so that you know I'm not a fraud. I did not just list certificate that I did not earn, right? So it's going to open up now and we'll see it. So that is how you can also show people that you are legit, right? At least so that they know that okay, this guy is someone we can work with. So look at it. It's opened now. And you can see the credentials.corporatefinanceinstitute.com. My name clearly written there. The date I got the certification. And if you want, you can come here and verify. If you verify, it will check. So let me see if it will check. Why is this slow? Anyway, I don't want us to waste time here because it's hanging at this point. But like I said, certifications are also very important because it shows one thing. You are someone who is dedicated to learning, and it also shows that at least you have some things to show that qualifies you as a professional in your space. It doesn't matter if it's a renowned one, even if it was a maybe an institute that is not popular, maybe somewhere in Abuja, Lagos, anywhere, Port Harcourt, but you have something to show. I went for certain training. Okay, it has come up now, showing that this is verifiable, and you can go to the website, every information about my credentials. So this one can show that yes, this guy is not just putting link that does not have any meaning, right? So your certifications are important. You have Excel with Dikky, you add it. But for those ones that don't have platforms, you can also put them in your drive, your Google Drive, and hyperlink them. I think I have some like that, like this Jobber Man. I think if I click it, it should open and also make it accessible. You're putting it in your Google Drive, make it accessible to, okay, it's not this one. This one is oh, this one is the one on Coursera. No, it's not this one I'm talking about. Let me check. I think it's let me see. Let me see. Maybe I even removed it because I saw it as irrelevant. But I'll check. I think I should have it somewhere. Uh, okay, I did not hyperlink it at some point. But anyway, basically, what I'm trying to say is that for those ones, just make sure that that file is accessible to anyone. Don't put any restriction on it so that once they click it, they'll be able to see it immediately. I'm looking for, can't find it. It's all good. Uh, okay, now there's something I wanted to show you guys. So if you notice here, starting from my very first resume, I had 2 pages. There's some information I added here that are not relevant. For example, references. Please, we don't need references. If they need reference, they will tell you. Even that reference are available upon request. Remove it from your resume is not important. If they want to go forward with you, maybe after they've hired you, they will ask for all these references and they will document. So this one, they're just taking space, so you don't need it. And some people will tell you extracurricular activity, you don't need them. Everybody have their own reason, but me, I like to put things that will make you see me in a different light beyond the whole career thing. And also, I'm also very, very technical in the way I put some of my hobbies. For example, I want to show you that I'm someone that enjoys sports. I'm someone that enjoys things that are cool, like basketball. Also, even if I want to have fun, I still want to do intellectual stuff or mind blowing stuff like playing Sudoku. If you're a chess person, please add it there. Reading informative books, writing, music, all those, even video games. People don't know that video games help the brain. But when we grew up, they told us that if you play game, you will not know book. Meanwhile, it challenges your brain. All those, I finished this level, I'm going to the next level. Do you know the tactic you'll be calculating in your brain for you to move to the next level and it gets difficult? It helps your brain, but people don't know. It's a way to relax, but it's a way to also sharpen the brain. I'm sure some of you are hearing this for the first time. You can read about it and learn more. So I think that's that for your what do you call it? For your certificates. But one thing I wanted to show you guys is if you notice my CV was 2 here. I came to this point is I think is 1 now. I removed those things I don't need. So I'm just showing you how my CV has transitioned from 2020 till date. So even the design, and if you notice, it's not like a graphic design thing. Make it simple so that the ATS can read it. Very important. You see this format, ATS can read it. If you go and put all those on that they will go and use Canva and do, you may shoot yourself on the feet. It looks catchy, but I don't think it's ATS friendly. So you don't need those except you're a graphic designer. But then there's a way to still structure those kind of resumes, but you can never go wrong this way. It's very easy for the ATS to read it. Okay. So this is also a 1 page. I think I maintained 1 page for a while after I learned that you should keep your CVs to 1 page. But the truth is, your CV can be more than 1 page, but ideally 1 to 2 pages. But for people that are just starting out, you're just starting. If you are writing your CV and it's entering 3, 4 pages, it means there are a lot of irrelevant information on your resume. So remove it. For example, now, what's concern my current career with my secondary school? I don't need it. Oh yes, I had 3D. Nobody cares whether you had 9 A's. So your secondary school is unimportant. Remove it. In fact, there are some people that have masters. They don't even put their BSc. They just put masters and any other relevant thing. But me, I want to just put BSc because statistics is something that if you have statistics, they look at you differently. Especially you are in data, they look at you differently. Like you study statistics, you still they do data. I mean, you must be very special. They see you that way, right? So some of those things that are irrelevant, take it out. You don't need more than 1 page, except you have like experience and you can really, really put it together and you feel like, these are juicy things that I must put, and 1 page cannot contain it. As you can see, for a long period, I was having a 1 page resume. Even with this design, 1 page, I kept cutting off what I don't need. After I got CFI, I kept cutting off what I don't need. But I realized something. I've been trying to be very humble about certain things, this certification area. And that's why if you see my recent resumes, I was like, no more will I dim my shine. And guess what I did? I packed this long list of certifications from 2017 down to May 2025. Any course I take, it doesn't concern me. And I will tell you the truth, this is not even all the certificates. I just put the ones that are relevant to my field, data analytics. I have more than this. There are over 60. I'm not even trying to brag, that's the truth. But I just put what is relevant here. And why I'm saying this is because on my final interview with Sterling Bank, when I was being interviewed by the group head, she mentioned something that struck me. She said she's looking at my resume, and one of the things that really stood out to her, apart from all these plenty stories, was that I listed a whole bunch of certifications, and that to her made me look like someone who loves learning. So even though I didn't have a banking experience at that time, she was willing to give me a shot because she feels this guy, if he can take time to go through all these courses over the years, I think he'll be very good at picking up new concepts and learning fast on the job, even though he doesn't have experience. And I don't think she was wrong. I don't think she was wrong. So this one is like after you've seen all the things that are very eye catchy, you are now seeing this and you're like, where are you coming from? Do you get? So, like I said, don't try to be humble about certain things. If you have 50 certifications that you feel are too relevant to your field or your role that you're applying for, I beg, add it. So I just picked the most relevant. I think there are more than 20 here from what I'm seeing, and I added it. And trust me, it's a good way to sell yourself. It says a lot about you and learning. And we are in a field where you just you just have to keep learning. You have to keep evolving. There is a lot of new things coming, and you cannot just be stagnant with, okay, I took one course in 2023 and you just stay like that. Nope. A lot is coming. AI is coming. This one is coming, and you're not learning. You have to be learning. So this has already showed them. Till date, I've been learning, and I'm not stopping my learning. Do you get? So it's very important, your certifications. But you notice I couldn't contain everything that is important in one page anymore. But guess what? I had to put it to 2 pages. And the reason I even added all this bunch of stuff is because I had space in the second page. But I don't want to exceed 2 pages. I'll try my possible best. Maybe by then I'll remove this global log enterprise. I'll just remove it, and maybe it is even something I removed recently. But anything that is not going to be really, really eye catchy, I'll just take it out of my resume. I just want to maintain a 2 page resume. It's very okay. But the most important thing is not just writing a bunch of information, catchy information. Remember, this is a marketing tool. You are selling yourself. You are not here to come and be doing humility. Nope. If you have the skill, project it and project it well. So let's talk about the skills, right? So there are different ways people like to document their skills. I think I might even have to review this. But one thing I will also say is it has to be a mix of both soft skills and your hard skills. What are soft skills? Soft skills are basically your collaboration, communication, creativity, analytical. But your hard skills are like your Power BI, Excel, business intelligence, data. Those ones are the hard skills. So if you notice the way I started, I just put analytical, numeracy, and problem solving skills. Then I I've been using this for some years, but I've added some things. I added computing, proficient computing skills, and I just added things that you used to work like Microsoft Office Suite, Google Workspace, Minitab, and if you are in the NGO space, you know about Nomis, DHIS, and the like. Also, can you use Zoom? Can you use Slack? All those things. Because if you are working in a remote setting, you should be able to use all those stuff. Then here, I put BI, data analysis and visualization, and I listed everything. And trust me, I did not list everything. I wanted to add Apache Superset, but I had to add it in my role here that I use Apache Superset. And you notice the way I'm using my some keywords, I make them bold so that anybody that is reading it, it will stand out to them. Anything that is important, let it stand out to them, make it bold, especially the things that you're quantifying in numbers or percentages is very important so that they don't miss it, right? Because even though it passes the ATS stuff, a human will still review. So let it catch their eye, punch it. So what was I even saying again? Yeah, so just list the skills that you have. You don't need to lie. And please don't go and add you are good at working under pressure. Please don't go and do that one. Same, even when you're writing about I know how to work well in a team. Don't make it generic. That's another thing people make mistake about. If you write something that is too generic, they'll just know, this one maybe you copy from ChatGPT. Those are what we call buzzwords. And if you are putting buzzwords without proof of what you can do, then they just say, I beg this person, maybe you gave someone to help you write CV or you went to ChatGPT to just collect something. Like, let me go back to some of my old CV so you see what I'm talking about. Now look at effective team player, self-motivated, all those things. Come on, they are not. These are very very buzzy kind of word. Anybody can be an effective team player, but here I switch it up a little. I'm trying to say the same thing, but I just wrote teamwork and collaboration. You can tell ChatGPT to give you different variants. That's why we have ChatGPT to make our life easy, so that it doesn't look too generic. That everybody's CV say effective team player, anybody effective team player. No, now you have to make it look somehow. Even this one, effective communication, presentation skills, interpersonal and emotion. This way I'm structuring it so that it doesn't look like what everybody will write. Then this one, high level attention to details. I may even want to restructure this one later. Do you get? But make sure that you're not writing what everybody is always writing. Stand out. And another thing is your resume should not have errors, typo errors. Review and review and review and review. Make sure there is no typographical error. Review as much as possible. Very important. I know we have 9 minutes on this call, and I don't know if I've covered everything, but just in case, I might bring up another link. But let me just go through my bullet points to be sure that I've covered everything. And I think most of the things I'm talking about has been covered. But the most important thing I'm stressing here is start seeing your resume as a marketing tool. It changes everything for you. It's not just a document, you just craft whatever and send. Maybe that's why you're not getting callbacks. If you see it as a marketing tool where you want to sell yourself in a way that anybody that sees my resume, you will not hesitate to call me back. Let me even tell you something, right? Recently, I was just going, like, I just, for some time, I'm saying, let me just be applying for the sake of applying. There was a particular organization, I used their services recently, and I just somehow hopped up on LinkedIn. And guess what? I saw that they had an open position. I'm like, okay, let me just apply for the sake of applying. And I applied. I kid you not, God is my witness. In less than 1 hour, I got a mail from one of them. I applied via LinkedIn, but I got an email from them telling me to take a test on what's the name of that is it something gorilla test gorilla, yeah, to take a test on test gorilla, even though that test gorilla sometimes is frustrating. They're giving you some things that you'll be cracking your brain. How can I answer 50 calculations in 30 minutes? Am I ChatGPT? I better leave those people share. But what am I saying? They saw something in my resume that made them shoot that mail to me to take a test. Mind you, a lot of people have been applying, and I can tell you that they've not sent them mails like that. But there are certain things they will say on your CV. I'm like, no, this guy is the it. We need to at least verify him and give him a test or stuff like that, right? So the most important thing here is know how to sell yourself. Know how to sell yourself. So I'm going to use my final CV to just show you what I did briefly, and then I'll open the floor for questions. If we have more questions, I'll jump on another call. But I think someone dropped a message. I want to read. I saw a message. Please, what format did you use for this your updated CV? Coming. Um, just a second. Okay. Is this Europass CV? And please, what can we use to create and design an ATS catchy? I don't even know what Europass CV is. Maybe you will give us more knowledge on that. But I use Microsoft Word to create all my resumes, and I save as PDF. If I want to edit, I go back to my Microsoft Word and do whatever I need to do. So it's always easy, and there isn't much. It's just if you know how to use Microsoft Word, I think it's very straightforward. Just align certain things the way it should be aligned. Me, I just choose my own special way. There are different ways people can align their own, but the most important thing is that let it have a particular flow. If it is having different flows, then it will be very, very messed up, and it will just be all over the place. It should be easy to read as well. That is why, if you notice, I try my experience, I made it feel like it has two different spaces. One space for the date and the other space for the actual information about where I worked. But I didn't want to just write everything in one straight line so that it's easy for anybody reading. So it's just my own style. So you also have to think about the person reading your resume. So if you look at it now, my resume has my name and my surname, Ajawe State, Airport Road, Lagos, Nigeria, phone number, email, project portfolio, and my LinkedIn. Then professional summary, I just put a certified business intelligence and data analyst, 6+ years experience in data analysis field, and all those plenty information. Second bullet point, I'm trying to show you my skills. I'm adept at Excel, SQL, Tableau, all of that, Power BI. And then the third one, what am I trying to achieve? Looking to collaborate with a team of highly skilled professionals and contribute effectively to this is what I is intend to do if I join, right? So it's similar to what I did when I was writing my career objective, but a lot has changed, right? So yes, I'm coming into a new organization, but I'm not just like coming to really, really learn. Yeah, I'll still learn, but I'm coming to make an impactful stuff. I'm trying to be impactful. I'm trying to bring value and whatever business they're into. If it's driving profit, I'm trying to drive profit. If it's to improve communication with like customer experience, that's what I'm here to do and stuff like that. But generally, they're trying to drive impactful insights with data. So I had to put something like that there. So that's basically what I'm trying to do. So in summary, this is just saying this is who I am, my years of experience, this is what I can do, and this is what I intend to achieve when I come to your organization. Very straightforward, simple, sweet, catchy. Then you go on. Some people can decide to start with their skills, but I decided to go with my experience because I feel it's a lot more catchy. If you see that I work in Sterling Bank as a business intelligence analyst, you want to read more. And then you see, okay, lead training instructor. That means I know my thing well for me to be training others. And I've not done only one training, I've done another training. Oh, I work with an NGO as a monitoring and evaluation analyst. This one, I don't know what it's doing here. I'll take it out very soon. But then I also went to highlight my projects. You might be curious after you've gone through all of this. You might want to see, okay, let's even see some of these projects. Oh, he did a report on his training. I may want to see it. You click and you see for yourself. You see my skills, my education. You now see Corporate Finance Institute, CFI, Canada. Even if you don't know what is CFI, that Canada itself will even attract you to look more. What did he get from this Canada Institute? You start reading. Oh, really? Before you know it, I'm just carrying you along. You will not even know when you have gone through to the end. When you see this one, you see achievements. Oh, he was even featured on CFI Spotlight. There's even YouTube link. By then, you'll see you as an interesting person, right? But this is just because I've grown over time. I thank God. But even if you have not come to this stage, like I showed you, there are different stages of my resume. The most important thing is sell yourself with the little that you know, project it well. That small thing you feel you have, project it very, very well. Okay, so we have 1 minute on this call, and I'm going to create a link, another link, and I'm just going to ask questions so that, sorry, I'm going to leave the floor for anybody to ask questions. So, um, I think that's it for now. So let's just leave this call. I'm going to create another link and drop it on the WhatsApp group. And then if we have questions, we can ask. Are we good? All right. So this
Yes,
link,
sir. Yes, sir.
all right, this
I'm
is
good.
about to end. So I'm going to drop another link. All right. So I think I've pretty much said everything I wanted to say. Thank you very much. Do we have questions? If you have a question, please show hands so that we can bring you up. Thank you. Please ask questions. Or I want to receive as much questions as possible. All right, Mesoma, go ahead.
Okay. I think my question to come in part is, but I have to ask this one first of all.
Okay.
Like in the space or in the segment for certification,
Okay.
the ones you add there, must it be in alignment with data analysis, or can you add other certifications that are outside the jurisdiction of data?
Good question. Yes, you can. Like you saw in my very early stages of my career, there were certain things I just added. Let it not look like I don't have anything. But with time, I think I took them off because they were no longer relevant. So as you grow in your career, you will know that that certification is not even relevant. So there's no point putting it there. But if you don't have any other thing to at least show that you are taking any course or you are learning anything that is not data related but something else, you can add it. You can add it. But the most important thing in your resume, if you don't have experience, is your projects. If you don't have a portfolio with at least two or three very meaningful projects to show, then nobody will really take you serious. So even if you don't have certifications, your projects should speak for you. I don't know if I answered your question. Did I answer your
Yes, sir.
question?
You did. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. I think I see Hamzat's hand. Hamzat
It's good
additional.
evening. Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Good
Good
evening.
evening. Good evening, Vicky. Thanks for having this. Well, my question is for some of us who have actually spent some time in sales and marketing for many years, that we're just trying to also add on data analysis into our portfolio, into what we're already into our certification and the rest of them. So to number one, you don't want to jettison what you have actually done in the last 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Is it how possible it is for you to combine what you have done before and you want to also add data related experience into, your CV? Or is it that you are going to have two separate CV, one that will be data related and the others for, where you are coming from or what you have done in the past? What do you
Very,
advise?
very
Thank
good
you.
question. And I like this question because I'm sure a lot of people are coming from different fields or background. And I would like to say there's a reason they say data analysis or data science or data analytics is the sexiest career of the 21st century. One of that reason is because you can literally work anywhere. You did sales, you can work as a sales analyst. In fact, your experience in sales is an advantage in any way you are going to work as an analyst. That's what you don't know. Your experience in sales is an added advantage. Even if you're coming from a different background, it doesn't matter. It can help you. Don't even know the industry you might eventually enter, and it can help you. Maybe someone might say, okay, I'm coming from, maybe I worked in a laboratory or health related something. It is an advantage. Oh. Healthcare analytics is something. Oh. If you work with a big HMO, you are going to be seeing big money because you understand analytics aspect of things and you understand the health aspects of things. Or you work with a health related NGO. No, no, no. See, your background is a plus. I just want you to see it as that. Your background is a plus. So you can document it. Even if you want to document, okay, find a way to, I mean, sales is all about numbers. Put it in your experience. Oh, you have 10 years experience of doing this. You are able to drive sales. Put something. You can even quantify it. Let them show that you're a data analyst. Even if, in quote, you may have to tell small lie. It's not even a lie because you must have improved profitability at some point, or maybe you improved is it what do they call that thing, conversion or stuff like that. You can put it there. Oh, you helped improve conversion by 40 something. That is impactful. Whatever impactful job you did, whether I was in sales, whether I was in marketing, it doesn't matter. So in fact, sales is something that people are struggling for now, and you're now using sales and data. Abba, that's a serious experience. And you say you have 15 years. My brother, you have blown. The only thing left for you is how to craft it well in your resume that anybody that will see it will say, who is this Hamzat additional? We need to bring him on board. Let's talk to him. Let's see how he can work with the sales department and analyze our sales data, even marketing data, anyone. So it's not an advantage. You don't need to go and put it aside. What you should understand, data analysis works anywhere. Data analysts rather, they work anywhere. It's not like sales is on its own. No. You apply data analytics in sales, in banking, in marketing, in real estate, anywhere you find yourself. Agriculture, you studied agriculture and you now join it with machine learning. You have blown. You have blown. Let me just say it like that. You have agricultural background, you have data analytics with it, you have blown. I'm sure a lot of you have been hearing about sustainable agriculture. I have someone that does sustainable agriculture, so I've learned a bit from her. There's a lot going on there, oh. A lot of machine learning. Don't play. Don't think what. Yes, you might say, okay, what you studied, you might not really see, but if tech can be infused into it, there's a lot you can do with your experience, your background. There's a lot, trust me. There's a whole lot. So having that years of experience, 10 years, 15 years in sales, marketing, is a huge plus for you. All you need to do now is craft a resume. If you've worked in, let's say, in the last 10, 15 years, you've worked with three different people, craft a resume that will show the impact that you made in those three organizations. Project it, quantify it, put percentage of whatever you did. Oh, you helped improve profitability, you helped reduce drop in. Put something there, anyhow. Just let it show that, okay, whatever you do, you have an approach to solving problem and improving things. And also the way you document it, putting percent, they also see you as an analyst. Okay, you track what you do and you can document your impact. I don't know if that makes sense.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
you are
Yeah.
welcome. Any more questions? I'm here for questions. So we are about how many here? 13, 12 of us, and nobody's asking question. I beg, I beg. Ask. Yes, Balaji, ask your question.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So, thank you for holding this section with us. And I feel great to be part of this team today. So my first question is that I saw some of the certification that you listed in your resume. So how do we get the links to this certification? Like, okay, like when I attended your exec training, then you issue the certificates to us, sending it through I think through PDF file, things like that. So how can we have it in maybe online and get the links to the certificate? That's one. The second one is how can we create the hyperlink for this link? so that we can put it on our CV.
Okay, good question. Let me see if I can
So,
quickly. Okay, I have another
so
question.
yes,
By
yes.
the way, your voice is a bit low, so I don't know if you can
Okay,
take your mic
okay,
close. Aha.
okay. The third question is, I've been hearing for like maybe online people saying maybe on LinkedIn or on Twitter saying that the data we have been working with are dummies, they are not real life data, and we know that we are not yet employed, that we have access to real life data. Even I was even talking to one of my friends yesterday that if we can get maybe like pharmacy or a store nearby, that we can ask them once they are using computer to for to once they are using computer in order to gather their to using computer for their businesses, so we can easily get their this thing their our data sets from that. But the lady told me that he has talked to one person, and the owner of the pharmacy said he can't release the revenue, this I mean the fact data. So, and it's not possible for us to work without having a fact data. So how can we get real life data that we can be able to work with?
Okay, very, very good question. So let me take it from the back. So you're talking about working with real world data. Then your first question was about, remind me again.
How can we get the certificate, the links to the certificate,
Okay, on
like the
your
one?
resume, how you can
Yes,
hyperlink it, right?
yes, that's the second. That's the second question. So
Okay.
how can we
Okay, that's
get
the second
the?
question. What's the first
Yeah,
question?
the first question is that there are some certificate that we don't have, that does not have, that doesn't do with links. So
Okay.
like the Excel, Dikky Excel certificate now, so we don't have it in link. So how can we create a link for
Oh,
that?
okay, very
And
good
how can we
question.
hyperlink it?
Okay, so let me share my screen quickly and show you something. And okay, I believe you can see my screen now.
Yes.
Okay, so let me show you something on one of my resumes. Uh, Everything is hanging. I don't know why. Just a second. Uh-huh. So I'm trying to navigate to one of my resumes. Let me see. Okay. So this resume now, OVC management training, OVC case management training. I did this in May 2021. So it's a physical copy, but I snapped it and I uploaded it on my Google Drive. So that's what I was saying. Like Excel with Dikky or any course you went
Okay.
to take and you don't have a platform, just upload to your Google Drive and make sure that it is accessible to anyone, not just, there's a way you now upload, and if you give the link to somebody, when they open it, they don't have access. So make it available to everyone. So here now, if I click on this, click to view, it's going to open the website on my Google Drive where I uploaded the PDF of the certificate. So this is it.
Okay.
So at least I can show you the certificate, even though it's not on a platform like CFI, where CFI have their own link, so there's no need to upload anything. Do you get?
Okay.
So that's the first question. Then the second one, how you can hyperlink it, right?
Yes.
All right. So I quickly opened up my Word document. So this is where I do my resumes on Word. Everything is on Word. So for example, now this is my portfolio, right? All I just did was highlight and then right click. Okay, let me just okay, yeah, it's coming up. Right click. Then you will now see edit hyperlink. It's already a hyperlink, so let me just pick something random like let me just say Sterling Bank, for example. So I'm going to right click and then link. So this can link to different things. It can link to even a file in your system. So I'm going to click link and it's going to open up for me. So here you can link whatever existing file or web page, place in this document, or to create a document or email address or whatever the case may be. So here now I can just say I want to write a link with maybe Sterling Bank website. I can just write sterling.ng and say okay. There's already a hyperlink. So if I save it as a PDF, you can click it. But since this is not PDF, for you to click it, as you can see, it's saying control and click to follow link. So I'm just going to hold down my control and then click. It's going to open that link. But if it's a PDF, you don't need to do all that plenty magic of holding control. They'll just click like I showed you on the PDF here. All you just need to do is click and you jump to where you're going to. So have I been able to answer the first and second questions?
So are you saying that before you can apply this hyperlink, you will first open this document on PDF first?
Um, come again with the question. Let me get you correctly.
I said, are you saying that before we can do this, because you said it is not on PDF, does it mean that this file need to be on PDF first before we can apply this hyperlink for it to go straight to the document?
Okay, let me clarify. So the documents that like this one I opened, just give me a second. Like this one that I opened, this document has been uploaded on my Google Drive, and this is the link, right? So this one is your everybody has Google Drive, so you can always upload on your Google Drive, make the link available to everyone that has the link, and you get the link. But then, like I said, I use Microsoft Word for my resume, so anything I'm doing, I will have to hyperlink based on the web address that I have or the URL. So what I just simply did was on my Word document, you highlight whatever you want to be clickable. Like I want Sterling Bank PLC to be clickable. So I'm going to highlight it and I will have to right click and then click on link. Then put in the website. Let's just put Sterling website and okay. But I won't be able to click it directly here. Clicking it is more like I'm clicking into modify. But by the time I save it as a PDF, anybody like that, if you're applying for jobs, always send in PDF, except they say send as a Word document. Every CV is PDF. So if I save this as a PDF, if I just come here to show a finger for me to click, and I'll just click, just as you have here, as you have here, all these ones is showing a finger for me to click. So if I just click, it will take me straight. But just for you to test your link, your hyperlink, it's telling you hold control and click. So I'm going to hold down control and then I'm going to click. Then it's going to take me to the website just to be sure it's working and fine. It's working well. So I don't know if I answered the question.
Yes, sir. So that means once you finish with this word, you must save to PDF if you want it
Very
to go directly.
exactly. You must save it in
Oh,
PDF.
okay.
Yeah. Balaji, I think there were two questions you asked. Have I answered? Have you three questions?
The third question is, how can
Dummy
we
daily,
get?
yes. Very good. So I would say something, and there's a lot of noise happening. There's a lot of noise happening on the space. People are saying this is what you should do, this is not what you should do. Let me tell you the truth. Just as you went to the pharmacy, nobody will give you their data. Data is private. If you have worked with data, there's something we call data ethics, data governance, data privacy. Nobody will just carry data and give you. Even we that work with data, we are careful with the way we work with the data. Like you notice, I don't post dashboards anyhow. I don't post. I work a lot with data. I work on projects because I'm actively working with a bank that there's always something to work on. But you've never seen me come and post my dashboard and we did this, and they will just sack me. because I'm communicating private property, private insights, private data, I'm carrying it to the public. I will not do that. There are a lot of things I've done. I wish I can bring it to the public, but I can't. Even if I'm to do it, I will have to change a lot of things that it will make not in fact, even if my CEO sees it, he cannot know because I will change plenty things, even the values, I will change it. Data is not something that people will just give you, oh, real world data. So dummy data is not like they call it real world data, but dummy data is more like you are replicating real world data. For example, when we were done with this training program, I gave you guys Superstore data. Superstore data, yes, is a dummy data, but it is reflecting the kind of things you see in real world. For example, let me just show you something. I was working with someone today on their final, what do you call it, final session. And remember, for most of you guys, I don't know if you are part of the guys that didn't do assignment 5. I started assignment 5 sometime this year. And for me to come up with that assignment, I played with the data and I saw a lot of insights. So I've heard people say, don't use all these data sets that people have been using, Superstore data sets. Remember, I said one data set, you can use it to do 3, 4, 5 different projects. It's not about dashboards. And that's the problem with people that are just starting out and they don't really know much. They just learned Power BI, they've learned Excel. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but they really don't know the important things to focus on. And they're not saying, you have to work with real. Who will give you the? Is it bank that will give you? Is it the pharmacist that will give you? Is it a supermarket that will give you? They will not give you because you go analyze the data and go and put it as a project and say you are carrying their sensitive data, sensitive information to the public, and they can sue you for it. If you want to work with real world data, start with your bank account. Go and download your bank statement for the whole 2024. Analyze what you did with your life financially and see where you are spending wisely and spending foolishly in quotes. And then give yourself recommendations based on the insights. That is real world data. I did it last, I think, beginning of this year. I analyzed 3 of my bank statements and I saw things that made me know, bro, you were spending foolishly at some point. Do you get? So this is superstore data. And there are certain things I saw and I was like, I can't sit and do assignments now. And I brought out a lot of insights and I was like, okay, let me give it as assignment. Let me know. I think I even shared it to everybody. I'm sure everybody got an email. I'm very sure everybody got an email when I started the assignment. And there are certain things you would not have seen in this data if you didn't just play around with it. For example, I work in a bank. We have one database, but guess what? I can't count how many different analysis I've done for different aspects of the business. But will you say, I've worked with Sterling Bank data, let me go to Access Bank, let them go and open their database, let's work with it. No, it is one database, one data set, okay, different data sets anyway, but usually accounts table and different other things you might join, but in a way it's one data set. But there are different aspects of the business to focus on and analyze data and bring out meaningful information. This superstore, you can do 3 projects from it, meaningful projects. Focus on one aspect of the business. Okay, you want to check maybe churn, customers that have been, you can just say, I want to analyze churn. You now analyze, okay, certain customers, how many times did they, or how many times did certain customers purchase? Who is the highest purchasing? When last did certain customers um, transact last or purchase last? And you want to check, was there any reason they stopped purchasing? Check did they have any return products? Maybe they had issue with the products and they returned and maybe they didn't resolve it and they stopped buying. There are a lot of things you can see. There is a lot you can do with Superstore data. It's people that are just concerned about building dashboard to show off that feel is not real world enough. There is a lot of trust me. Let me even show you. Thank God I'm sharing my screen. This website I gave you guys on Mood, sometimes my hands is just are just scratching me. My hand can just be scratching me. I'll go to Mode and just be playing with the data set there. Some of you are saying, where can I get data set? Mode Analytics is a place you can go and download data sets. Like enough data. Why is this thing hanging? Sometimes my laptop will just want to disgrace me, but God pass am. But let's wait, it's going to come up. So Mode Analytics is a platform where you can learn, right? I have it open here. I play around with the data just for the fun of playing around with it. This is where you can go download the data, build your dashboard, show the world. It is open, it's open source data. And guess what? They are real world data. I just come here and play as I want. But there are a lot of databases, or I say, yeah, there are a lot of tables. Okay, let me not go into all the terminology, but there are a lot of data sets here. At least everybody understands that word. There are a lot of data sets here. And guess what? I noticed that there are some data sets that are not listed here. How do I know? If you know how to use SQL, you just play around by just typing. Let me just show you something here. From, like, I was looking for something related to COVID. As I was typing COVID, I started seeing things come out. Can you see? These are data sets related to COVID, and I can just play around, and just explore the data. Anyone that tickles my interest, I will now explore it and say, at the end of the day, you export the data, export it as CSV, and download and do whatever you want to do in Excel or Power BI. See, no be the data don dey export for me. I can save it. So all those we are looking for real, there is data to play with. If it is not Cargo, if it is not Maven Analytics, come here, at least use it and play with your SQL skills. I'm giving you I'm giving you more like expo now for those who are thinking of how they can work with SQL and build projects. Come to Mood Analytics. Find the data set, write some scripts, share the screenshots, even put it on your portfolio as a code block. See what you did to bring out this data set. Let it be that you worked with SQL to generate your data, and you brought it into maybe Excel or Power BI, transformed it, analyzed, and you visualize. It's a project, and you can share it to the world if you want, because it is open source. All these are dummy data, but they brought it open. There are even some that are even real world. Like there's this college. I know when I was learning it, there was this college, all this college football in the US, all this American football. They have data on all those stuff. They even have some things related to airport travel, be flight data, stuff like that. You can analyze all those things here. So all those people that are saying you're looking for data, see, come here and collect the data. At least use it and sharpen your SQL skills after learning on this platform. And download the data. Visualize. See flights revenue, flights, just explore as much as you coin crunch base. There's a lot of things you can. Some of them are listed here, like I told you. Some of them are not listed here. You just think of any data. I'm just thinking of any data now. Health. I'll just type health. If there's any database related to health, it will show. And you can explore them. All these are data sets. Either it was uploaded by people or Mode Analytics. And you explore, play around with it as much as you want. I don't know if there's HIV. If there's HIV here, let me check. Is there any HIV data? I'm not seeing anything related to HIV. What about AIDS? Nothing related. So they don't have HIV, but they have COVID. I've seen COVID. I don't know if they have anything related to malaria. Let me just check. They don't. Let me see if they have anything related to Africa. Just Africa. Anything related to Africa. Emissions in Africa. I mean, there's a lot of data here. Play around. Play around with it. So don't listen to people telling you go and look for it. Nobody will give you reward data. Anybody that understands the sensitivity of data will not carry the data and give you. Even myself, if you noticed when I posted my dashboard on Twitter, where I was sharing my bank, there are certain things I was hiding so that people will not come and think I don't have money. When they come and kidnap me, do you get? There are certain things I just blurred it in a way, or position the camera in a way that certain things will not show, because it's my personal information. Do you get? And I don't want to put that in the public. If it is something I can just say, okay, I changed a lot of things and I can put it out there. But there's nothing like dummy data is not real world data. They mimic real world data. So that is why it's good for you to work with it. It's just that most of these dummy data are clean. So you might not really see dirty data the way it is, but you can still see dirty data on cargo. And I'm sure if you play around more, you see dirty data on this moving and mode analytics platform. Even moving, you should see dirty data. Do you get? So don't allow people go and tell you, see, all those real world. Real world is not necessarily it must be a real company data. No, it just has to mimic real. Like if you've worked with CFI's courses, they mimic real world data and they mimic it very well because if you dig into it, you will see insights. This superstore data, it was from one of those exercises I did in CFI, and there's a lot there. So don't go and be listening to people that really don't know what data privacy is all about. It's not just I know how to analyze data. Companies will take it serious if they understand that you know data privacy issues. You don't just publish data because you have data at your beck and call. No, because these are more like intellectual properties or sales secret, like some people call it, and you just put it out there. Oh, you analyze the bank and they are making profit here, and you put it out. Other banks will see and say, "Oh, this is where Sterling Bank is." They will now move into it. You have killed your bank, and they will now find out how did the information get out because you posted one dashboard because you want to show. No, you don't need to see. Data is sacred. Data is why do you think people are always complaining? Maybe you're trying to do something online, they will tell you, give us permission. Should we use your data or should we not use your data? The data is oil. Let me just put it like that. You can't be spreading the oil anyhow. So nobody, you mean I can't even give you my Excel with Dikky data because these are people's private information and certain things too that I work with for my own personal, work to see how I can improve certain things. I can't bring it out to the public. No, except the one that I need to show the public, like maybe the impact so far, analyze this is how they've been performing. Of course, I will show even banks, they will say, oh, we are making profit, we made $200 billion profit, they will put it out there to the world. But their strategy, they will not show you. So a lot of strategies are hidden in data. You can't just see anybody that will give you that data like that. It's very sensitive. No business will give you that data. In fact, I remember I did a project for someone in the US, a Nigerian, I think sometime 2023. He told me after he finished building this thing, delete the data, delete the dashboard. That was how serious it was. He told me delete everything because he doesn't want to see it anywhere. It's sensitive information. So please don't go and listen to people that will go and lead you astray and you are thinking superstore data set is not real world see, as long as it is open source, people that generated the data, they are data professionals, they know how they created it. I mean, me, I'm not as professional as some people that create these data sets, but look at the ones that I give you in Excel with Dikky that scattered your brain. I was mimicking real world data and I will shock you, some of them are actually real world data that I scattered and tweaked, but you will never know. You will never know. Real world data I've worked with, but I just scattered it in a way that you will never know is real world data. Change plenty things. Do you get? But some are just data I just generated on my own, tweaked certain things so that it will look like real world. And it is what it is. At least you are learning what you need to learn from it. So I don't know if I've been able to answer your question, Balaji.
Yes, 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 yes.
All right.
Answer. Thank you.
You are welcome. So, Kemi, go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for the section. Like it was impactful as usual because while you were like going through the CV, I realized where I have made an error on my own CV, like naming the like listing out the duties that I performed without mentioning the impact. Like the impact I was able to achieve. So I saw that, and it is something I would work on. So the question I have is, right now, for someone like me that has an accounting background, and I'm transitioning into the field of data. My CV, like, if my CV is like 2 pages, is it okay, or do you think I it would be okay to limit it to 1 page?
Very,
That's like another I find confusing.
all right, very good question. So, how many years of experience do you have in accounting?
Like 3 4 years.
How many companies have you worked with?
Like two, just two.
Just two. One page.
Yes.
I think one page is fine. I
Okay.
think one page is fine. Like I said, try and put only what is relevant. And accounting is not far from analysis. Sure, you know.
Yes.
So you have a strong background for, and I mean, you can work in the financial sector, risk analyst, all those compliance, financial analyst. You can work anywhere. Do you get? So the most important thing is for you to highlight what is important. Trust me, if you highlight only what is important, you will see that there is a lot of space in that one page. Is a lot of
Mm.
space. Do you get? So just check your
Yeah.
resume. There are certain things you know you don't need to add. If you added your date of birth, your state of all those ones are not important. Like I said, anything that is on your resume should be what is related to the job you're applying for and the person reading your resume. For example, contact information. The only reason your address, not your full address, by the way, the only reason this location is here is so that they know where you are located. Don't go and write your full address. Then your phone number, your email, and your LinkedIn is just for them to reach you. Your portfolio, of course, I already talked about that. So basically, phone number, email, name are just all they need to know about you. So that in case every other English you are speaking here is attractive to them, they can reach out to you. So just go and look at the resume again. Anything you know that is not relevant, will not speak to what you are trying to achieve with the resume, take it out. Remember, it's a marketing tool, so sell yourself. Anything that will demarket you, remove it. If it is an organization I works with that is a small organization that does not carry, or maybe you didn't do much of what you are supposed to do there, remove it. I showed you how I started. See my very first resume here. I was adding all the Gubu Tibu from before I even after just my first year or so, or before first year, I added this one. My IT, my NYSC. You won't see all of these again. They are not relevant. So I just removed them because now I have some really, really juicy experiences to showcase. So I had to just take it out of my resume. So if you have maybe you did a teaching job as a during your NYSC, I don't think it's important. Trust me. Me, I taught maths in NYSC, but I've removed it. So I don't think it's important anymore, especially if you are now learning, you are working on projects. There's a lot you can put in one page. There's a lot that are relevant you can put in one page, and then there are a lot that you don't need. Just take it off. So look at it again, and I'm sure maybe if you want, we can still look at it together. And I'm sure there will be a lot to remove. There was someone I recently helped, not recently, sometime last year. I think even recently, some few months ago. Three page, we were able to cut it down. Like we fought self. I didn't want it to enter 2 pages. I think it's we maintained one page at the end of the day. I started showing you, I sure you see all those irrelevant things you thought were relevant. We were able to remove it. So your, I think it was 4 or 5 pages. We cut it down to I think one or two. I can't remember, but I know it was not more than two. I think it was one, but we cut everything because there are a lot of things that maybe you didn't even utilize the spaces well, or you were just documenting, like you said, your job description. Nobody needs your job description. What was your impact? What did you achieve? That's all we care. If it is one bullet point, put the one bullet point and keep it moving. Do you get? I don't know if I answered your question, Kenny.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. Thank you.
All right. Joyce, please go ahead with your question.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Coach Dikky.
Good evening, man.
Thank you so much for this impactful session. Well, most of my questions have been answered. I mean, some things I wanted to ask about, at least some people have asked them. So I wanted to specifically ask, so from the last speaker that was talking about transitioning from one, I mean, so somebody like me, I work in government. And I've worked for 31 years. This is my 31st year,
Wow.
the civil service. Adding, and I've worked in this is my fourth state office because we have state offices spread. So my CV over the years, I've actually been, listing from one state office to the other. And now I'm adding data. So really, I'm interested in how do I um, it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a lot of
you
work.
know,
I understand what you are saying.
putting
It's a lot
the
of work.
relevant, yes, the relevant, yes. What are those? So, what should be cut out? What should I mean, what should be there? Currently, I'm in like the peak of my career in the civil service. I'm a director. So, um, I'm just wondering, I don't know, I need help.
I
What
would say,
exactly?
good question.
Hmm.
I would say you have, in fact, I think I would say you will struggle to fit whatever you want to fit in 2 pages. You will struggle,
Okay.
definitely. But someone
No,
like
you
you,
see,
okay,
yes,
go ahead.
because the area where I'm going to, I think a lot of things have to be cut out because now you are talking about remove job description, which is mostly what has been there, really. So I'm
Okay,
looking at, okay, you've advised quantify the impacts. So it means that many of those things are just like fluff that have to be cut out.
definitely.
So I don't know. Yes.
So, like I said, maybe we also need to review your own. But one of the things I feel you are going to do is you say you've worked across 4 organizations or ministries.
No, 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 no. The same ministry, but
Oh,
four, let's say like branches, four
oh,
different state
perfect,
offices.
perfect, perfect, very perfect. So, different, 4 different, very perfect, and each of them they were
Four
like
different
different,
states.
different roles or different ranks.
Ranks, yes,
Perfect.
yes.
So, someone like you, even if you're coming into data and you have the knowledge, I don't expect you to be among the foot soldiers. Someone like you might be at the a management level. Do you get? But someone like, for example, now I work in the bank
Mm,
and I
mm,
work as a business intelligence analyst under the customer experience division. So the customer experience division is
okay,
led by a lady, but under the customer experience division,
okay,
we have the CX strategy, customer experience strategy. There's a lot of things that
okay.
happens there, and a lot of the things we do are informed by data, right?
Yeah,
Now, within that customer experience strategy, there are different both communication, both there are different ones, but my own unit under customer experience strategy is customer intelligence. We work with data.
okay,
We have different teams. I'm in the business intelligence team. There is service quality management. There is voice of customer analyst. There is optimization and performance. Different teams in that unit. But what I'm saying is that the group head of my own group, customer experience strategy. If you hear her talk, I can almost, I may be wrong, but I can almost swear that she does not know how to use SQL, Power BI, but she understands data. Like when she's talking, she understands data.
mm,
When I mean she understands data, she knows how to work with data, she knows how to use data. There are certain things she will just be, sometimes you're giving her a report. I used to wonder, she must have done data analysis at some point because she will say, okay, since we are doing this, why don't you try and do this and do that? And my mind is always blown because she's not doing the actual analysis, but she understands how these things work. That is where data literacy comes in. Even if she doesn't know the technical data skills. She understands data literacy and knows how things work in data. So she is now heading CX strategy and is a lot of data we work with. There are certain things she will say and she will say, she's not sure about this number. We need to revalidate. Let's go back and check because she understands it. So me, I'm not even seeing you as going to work as a data analyst. I see you leading teams at that strategic level or managerial level because you have experience, you have at least organizational experience, then you now add data. There are a lot of strategic managerial roles that you will fit into. So for you, 2 pages, 3 pages max, I would just say. But the most important thing is the relevant position, or rather, all of them are relevant. So you can just document it in a way that will show your progress. Okay, you started from this year, this was what you did, and 1, 2 bullet points. What did you achieve within this year period when you were at this level? The other level, how many years you document it? What did you achieve? That and somehow, like I said, quantify it, tie numbers to it or percentages. Let it show that you do not just go because me, I know you personally, right? I know you are not someone that likes to do the normal civil service job. A lot of people, that's how their civil service life is. But you have a lot of impactful things. Quantify, say yourself. There's no need to say, I was responsible for this. No, we don't want to know what you're responsible for. What did you achieve?
What did you achieve? Okay.
That's what they want to see. So if you can
All
project
right.
it that way and you push it, me, I'm telling you, it's managerial rules. Nobody will hire you with your level of experience and say, come and work as a data analyst. You will sit in strategic offices where you'll be looking at data and recommending things and say, oh, Oga, go and revalidate this number. Try and use this technique and see whether we can see any correlation. You know the data things, you understand. Just same with that our
Okay.
group head. She understands how data works. And when she's talking, you know that she knows what she's saying. She knows what she, even down to
Okay.
AI, she understands it. So it's not a big deal at all.
Okay. So, secondly, all right. Okay. Thank you. So, talking about using real life data.
Yeah.
So, you made a comment about data is everywhere. Yes. And as my transition into data, I decided to start playing with my organization data because we do some trainings and there are training data that they are just not being used. And I've been trying to do that in the last 1 year, at least starting from the beginning of this year, where I have access to, I collect and collate the data. I'm wondering, well, just like you said, I really want to use it to do like a form of projects to
Okay.
actually display my skills. So, from what you have said, is it, I mean, it's not something I can put out like that because it's organizational data. Is that something one can put out as this is what I've done, or should it just be consumed internally,
Good
not
good
put out
question.
there?
Good question. I think you can rename a lot of things. You don't need to put the name of the in fact, you don't even necessarily need to make them know that is a ministry, Nigeria government related stuff. Call it something else. You can
Okay,
even call it maybe a
okay,
training organization or just and call it anything.
okay,
And
okay,
if
okay,
possible,
okay, great. Okay.
change certain fields, maybe a name of a department, change it to something different.
Mm,
If there are certain
mm,
values that you feel people might recognize, change it so that it does not really replicate. You might leave the values the way it is, but as long as you are changing some key things in the data that somebody can see it and they cannot point to this ministry or that parastatal,
all right.
you can do it.
Okay, okay,
The most important thing is
okay,
anonymize the data. Make sure someone
okay.
cannot say this data is coming from this or this data is coming from
From
that.
here on.
Mhm.
All right, all right. Thank you very much. I'm grateful.
You're
Thank you.
welcome, man. Okay, I think I'm seeing Mesoma stand up again. Go ahead.
Okay, good evening once again, and thank you for the session. My note is almost filled. I've been writing and writing. Thank you. Okay, I just want to make it brief. As we are learning this, how to craft CV and other things, I know that some of us here might be, interested in the freelance aspect of data analysis. Like myself, I'm looking out to that even as I'm eyeing other maybe remote roles when I have the time, particularly. But I want to ask: is there anybody that I believe that you might have the contact that can, mentor someone in terms of freelancing? Since you now have the skills, someone that can hold us by the hand and lead us through the way. Because what I'm asking this is, I didn't have a first hand. My first experience on freelancing was not good. It was not good. I paid the guy. He just took me off work. Just I don't want to remember it because it was also like a wasted time and resources for me. You can imagine someone who called himself a mentor. I sent him a message. I told him that he cannot, that I should type what I voice noted to him. I was like, so you can't listen to my voice note, but you're calling yourself my mentor. So since then, just I went code on my freelancing stuff on Upwork. So I don't know if there's anyone that can help on that as you're doing for us like this, as you're doing for us. If there's someone that you can recommend to us, so that is just my question.
Okay, so good question. Even though I'm not the best person for freelancing, I've tried it. It's not really working for me. In fact, I got on Upwork since 2022. I'll be 2021, I can't remember. And I got my first job and only job in 2023. I've never gotten any other job. And how much? $10 job. So one thing I will tell you about freelancing is I'm trying to I'm trying to find the best way to say this. Okay, let me just say it as it's coming to my head. Upwork, not Upwork, generally freelancing. Freelancing is actually going to favor people who are highly skilled because it's very competitive. You are more like a consultant, right? So I usually recommend people to really, really know their thing before you go into freelance. In fact, being a freelance means you're a consultant. Somebody is going to consult you as a professional. And if you have not honed your skills to that level and you're going on platforms like Upwork, you might be doing yourself a disservice. Why am I saying that? Upwork, they rate you and all of that. If you don't do a good job, it will affect your rating, right? So freelancing is not just okay, I've learned this, let me go. No, you're not practicing. You know what you are doing, and there's evidence. That's why you should work on projects and work on projects until you're tired of working on, until projects are running away from you. Let me put it that way. Because any project you touch, you will scatter it. In fact, you collect one data set, you turn it into 5 different projects. You pick another data set, you run different projects out of it. You have to be that good to see data from different point of views, to approach problems analytically from different point of views, that it becomes easy. Not just easy, that you can use, you are efficient at it, like I usually tell you guys and teach you guys to do a lot of things in little time. Those are freelancers. That's in when you get to that point, you can start saying, okay, I want to really, really play in this freelance space because it's a competitive space. You see people that have been doing this for 3 years, 4 years, and they are very, very good at it, and you are not as skilled as them. You can't compete with them. So you have to go and cook yourself to the point that if you stand and they stand, even then we look at you and say, oh, no, let me go and craft my proposal again. I don't know who is this guy because you prepared. So yes, freelancing is something that everybody should go into. Once in a while, like go and look at my Upwork, and usually I don't even have time to even sit down and start looking for jobs there. But once in a while I do it, but it's been a while. Just shoot proposals and that and go like that. But there are people that are very good at these things, and maybe I don't know, maybe we might call up a space for that on Twitter. I know some certain people that will be very, very willing to teach, but it's not my strength, so I won't say much. But one thing I know about freelancing is you need to be very, very, very skilled at what you do to even thrive in it. It's not based on I'm not saying job. No, you must be very good at what you are doing. Like very, when I mean very good, like very good. I'm not saying this to discourage you, but I just want you to know that if you want to go that route, you must put in the work. You must really put in the work and know your onion very well. So I don't know if I answered your question, though, even though it's not my strength.
Yeah, you answered the question, and as you said, we'll be looking at maybe one of those spaces where you bring on those people that can really mentor people, like you're mentoring us here on freelancing. It would be a good one.
All right. So I'm seeing Hamzat's hand up again. I don't know if it's a former hand.
Yes, no, it's the same. No,
Okay.
two things I want to ask.
Okay.
Number one, most of the time that you're on space, especially the Twitter space, we don't get to know about it. So I will appreciate if you can always let us know when you or your colleagues are also going to be in that, so that we can also be part of this. Most of the time, we are not on Twitter all the time, so at least if we have that notification earlier on, we can plan to be part of it. Then, secondly, I think maybe later, we I believe we've gained something, one thing or the other, in terms of how to craft the CV, or some of us will go back and try and adjust what we've done before. There's another thing which I think we will. I just want to indulge if you can create time for us to also do something on LinkedIn, because we know as a data analyst, you also have to be well, equipped in terms of the LinkedIn too. So many things that we need to know: the profile, the pictures, a whole lot. If you can also have time, also maybe later, that you can also take us through. Thank you.
Not a problem. I would look into that. And I think during the spaces, I usually post on the group. Or maybe you've missed them. Anytime I want to host a space or something like that, I usually post. But I think I'll do that more often. But I'm sure I usually do post. Then for the LinkedIn, I will find time for that. Definitely. It's part of why we are here, mentorship. There's a lot to learn. So I'll find time for that. Even on interviewing, a lot of people are not so good at interview. They're always shaky. We'll trash that one as well going forward in the future. All right. So we have two
So
minutes.
before the call ends,
Yeah.
let me finish one before the other.
Okay.
This your same format. Is it possible I get this your exact format, maybe in the Microsoft version, and edit my own details? Or
Sure. I can send it to you if you want.
okay, that would be better.
Yeah. But then you might want to change your colors. So what I
No,
basically
I'm fine with the colors are matured, but all
okay.
those lengthy, I might want to remove them since I'm not more experienced like you.
No worries with time. So I can
Okay,
I
sir.
can share this. I can drop it for you guys, and you can play around with it as you want.
Okay. Sir, please, one last question. This Onyedika,
Yeah.
you said you were putting your surname first before. So now, is it your normal name or your middle name you put first?
No, first name, last name. Onyedika is my first name. Moji is my
But I
surname.
used to hear that most of the time, like this AI period now, that it's better you use your English name first.
Nope. This call is ending now, though.